Manchester United 3, Luton Town 0. Rick, scoreline sounds a lot better than it was actually for large parts, to be fair. Especially towards the end of the game, we brought on the big guns and they kind of saw it out. But before that, I mean, Henderson made a fantastic save, and if that goes in, it's a complete different game. So, Matic starts though, clean sheet. Matic starts, clean sheet.
Yeah, score. Got man of the match. The TV giving man of the match.
Talk to me, Rick.
Adam Fletcher singing his praises, saying how good he is at finding little gaps and little pockets. And I think is it Statman Dave or Statman somebody's put up the stats tonight. You know, massive pass completion rate and created 4 chances, 3 shots on target. I don't know what more you can ask from him, really. I thought he played all right, won't matter. He did look, people will jump on things. This is what people do. They look at like 1 or 2 bad things and say, do you know what I mean? But in the main, he played pretty well. So I was pleased with Matic, yeah. Matic obviously just patrolled in front of the back 4, as he always does. People are already saying on there, it's down to Henderson saves the clean sheet. Like I've said to you numerous times, Flex, I don't care how it happens, and I don't really want to know why it happens. We just do keep clean sheets when Matic plays. There's no point saying, the keeper made a save. He also made some saves in the games where we didn't keep clean sheets, you know what I mean?
So for you, it's like Matic is just there when it happens. It doesn't matter if he was the one who actually did X, Y, Z. He's just in the team.
The percentages, I wouldn't be bothered if the percentages were small, but it's like massive the difference. 20% more clean sheets when he plays and when he doesn't play. No matter what the opposition, by the way, people will say, it was only them, but he played when we beat City 2-0. He played when we beat Chelsea 2-0. Do you know what I mean? So obviously he's played in plenty of games against smaller teams where we kept clean sheets. Of course he has. But we've also played smaller teams without him and not kept clean sheets, like he didn't play against Rochdale when we drew 1-1 with Rochdale. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter why. Like I've said to you on the show the other night, some people say, he's too slow. I don't care if he's only got 1 leg. The important thing is that when he plays, we do better. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Don't do anything else.
And is that the same for both of them? I know Greenwood come on and got the goal, and Rashford come on and got his goal as well. And look, the pressure was building on Luton at that time anyway. That, after that save, I think that we were still on top. And do you see the same with Mata as well? Should Mata and Matic play more in the starting games then?
Mata should definitely play more. I'm not saying he should play every week. And there's, I've said to you before, it's horses for courses. Mata might. There'll be people tonight saying, Rick the Reds saying that they've come on and scored against Luton, which I have said they've come on and scored against Luton, which is fine, and they've done great. Rashford's come on and scored, Greenwood's come on and scored. But when Mata came on against Copenhagen when it was 0-0, people were saying, it's only Copenhagen. Mata came on and opened them up. So but people are then saying, it's only Copenhagen. So don't get carried away about Rashford and Greenwood scoring tonight against Luton. Another thing about that, I heard you talking about Bailey before. Bailey did quite well. He's obviously we already know his strengths. He's strong, he's fast, he's brave. But have a look at the 21st minute where a ball comes to him on the halfway line, where he could take it down on his chest, and there's a player on the 10 yards away that way with no red. But they were in red, weren't they? Maybe he thought we were in red. I don't know.
They're in orange. Oh yeah.
He just edited it straight to him when he didn't really even need to edit.
Well, to be fair though, that literally was because I saw that moment and I thought.
Well, before you say it, a couple of minutes later, there was a bouncing ball in like the left half channel, a pretty gently bouncing ball that he's gone, and he's tried to lob it to either to our full back or maybe to Matic or Fred just in front, and it just went about 5 yards up in the air, and one of their players got onto it and managed to break away, and we had to, I don't know if it was Bailey who actually did it, but we had to chase back and we scrambled it away for the corner. Yeah. So there's a couple of embarrassing moments that on another day could lead to, from that corner, they may have scored if it was against a bigger team, a better team, they might have scored. It's just, sometimes it's how your luck goes, you know what I mean?
Do you think he should play instead of Lindelof?
The way Lindelof was at the weekend, I would say yes. But generally, I would say no. Lindelof's not normally as bad as that. let's be honest. I know he's not great, Lindelof, but he was shocking at the weekend.
He was.
So, so he isn't normally as bad as that. There's plenty of people on Twitter telling you that we were the third best goals against record, and it was like 15 goals better than it was the season before, and all that. It wasn't absolutely appalling last season. It was okay, but it was, on a weekend it was shocking. So generally, my favourite would be Lindelof. Bailey's prone to do things like that every game. And it's a look at a draw whether the team score from it or not. Do you understand what I mean? You get away with it when it doesn't happen. When they don't happen to score from it. It's a funny old game, football. I remember Varela playing right back for us.
Yes, I do.
He played against Liverpool at Old Trafford in the Europa League. And Coutinho, and we're not talking here about a kid who plays for Luton, are we, by the way? Coutinho absolutely ran him ragged, got to the dead ball line, cut in, chips it over De Gea into the net and scored. And Van Gaal, I think, was in charge at the time. And I think he took Varela at half time. And I don't think we ever saw him again. And he'd had a few good games for us. But I'm not saying he should still be playing for us. I'm just pointing out what can happen in the game. Now, if Coutinho would have missed, or if De Gea would have saved it, it just would have been forgotten about.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? It's
what about the things that Lindelof does that gets swept under the carpet, where it's like he's got brushed off the ball, or he's not concentrated in the wrong position?
Same thing applies to all players. Of course it does. It applies to all players. I just think Lindelof's steadier generally. Generally I do, but not obviously after the weekend. He's got to be dropped after he played out.
And he probably, you know what, Rick? I don't think he even will be dropped. I think Ollie will go back to that same.
Do you know what? If I was having to discuss that situation, I would also argue that surely I've never seen him play as bad as that. So I would also argue surely he can't be as bad again. So there is different ways of looking at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, you're not buying into that.
I think Lindelof's a better centre back than Bailey. I really do. Bailey's stronger and faster, but Lindelof's calmer, cooler, and a better passer of the ball. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So Rick, you're not buying into that whole, like you said, just put him in because he's fast.
The same thing applies. Don't forget, this was more or less Luton Town's reserves tonight. You know what I mean? It wasn't. If the team that played on Saturday played tonight, we still would have won. And if the team that played tonight would have played on Saturday, we still would have lost. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? Okay. So there's no point getting carried away with it.
Yeah, fair play. And did you like what you saw from Van der Beek today? I mean,
absolutely.
Got into good positions. Like you say, he tries to play simples. He's good at timing his runs and getting on the end of things as well. He's always in the inside channels trying to receive on the half turn. He linked up well with Mata. And I said to Mark beforehand, Mark was very critical of that lineup. And I said, but I bet you what you do see is Van der Beek linking up well with Mata and little changes. And he did, and with Lingard as well. I mean, do you like Van der Beek in there?
I loved Van der Beek in that position. I've got to be honest, Flex. I was devastated with Igalo. I really liked Igalo.
He looks like he's.
There wasn't much coming back from him, and he miscontrolled it a couple of times. I was gutted. I was proper gutted.
Yeah.
Obviously, Marshall will come back into that position. If he kept both Juan Mata in that position, coming in from the right, Van der Beek at 10 and Marshall at 9, some of the football would be sublime. It really would.
So those three in for you. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think he will. I think probably Greenwood will come in. Greenwood comes on. He's capable of doing that, but he's more capable of doing that against teams like that. It's not likely to happen for him in a league game, coming in all the way from the wing and scoring. To be fair, he backs off. They let him come all the way.
Well, look, the goals that Greenwood has scored is as a result. If people let him on his left foot and back off, he will do that. Pretty much, the goals he has scored in the league are pretty much that. People back him off, showing him onto his left, bang, before you know it's a goal. Before you go, Rick, who's your man of the match?
Nemanja Matic.
Why?
Solid as a rock, dead simple passing, keeping it moving. Easily, for me, easily the best player. And
easily starts on Saturday?
He's got to start. We haven't touched on that yet, because I said to you the other night, I think Adam said to me the other night, it's a pleasure having all these good players. It is a pleasure having them, but I won't fancy being in all his shoes trying to work out how he's going to do it all. He could easily make a right mess of it, but Matic has got to play, and I'm sure Matic is one of the sort of people who's like the easy option. He's not a fan's favourite.
I think he's slowly. Do you know what the funny thing is about that is, Rick? Yeah, is that he's slowly not becoming a fan favorite, but I think he's slowly getting the credit he actually deserves. I think people are coming around to, especially with the arrival of Bruno and now Van der Beek. It's even more people are like, oh, hang on a minute here. We definitely do need Matic.
If he tries to fit them all in no flex and plays like a diamond, there's going to be no width. And that. Look, it's intriguing. I can't wait to see what he does.
Listen, Rick, I will see you on Saturday, and it is intriguing. We will see how we go on.
All the best, mate.
Rick. Nice one, mate. Take care.